My son's question about the election made me stop and think, how much should I tell him? As I stood in front of the stove making dinner, my 9-year-old sat in the kitchen watching a show. He asked, "How can someone steal an election?" With election season comes a surge of often heated political discourse on social media, delicate and tense conversations in real life, and attack ads on and radio. Politics will permeate everyday life for most of us between now and. For me, it also came with a surprising interest in politics from my children. As I stood in front of the stove making dinner, my 9-year-old sat in the kitchen watching a show. He asked, "How can someone steal an election?" I didn't turn around to answer right away, because I wasn't sure if I should answer, or if I did, what I would say. "There are lots of different election crimes that can lead to the stealing of an election," I said. "There's disenfranchisement, polling place abuse, misuse of campaign funds." Before I said another word, he said sheesh, put his headphones back on, and the conversation was over. As I returned to cooking, I recognized that moment was an invaluable opportunity to engage my child in a conversation about politics and to help him to understand the world around him. But I'm not sure if he comprehended what I said, and he may have lost interest because I used terms he had never heard before. As I spiraled down a rabbit hole of thinking about elections, parenting, and education, I realized that navigating these discussions with my children will be challenging. What do I say to them about presidential nominee? Through conversations with my children and research, I learned that it's not just me. A lot of parents struggle to talk to their children about politics. I decided to share a few ways you can talk to your children about politics in a thoughtful and age-appropriate manner. It's always good to start with the basics. You should explain what elections are, why they are important, and how they work. For my 9-year-old, I used comparisons like voting on a family movie night or a fast food location. I wanted to make sure he understood the idea that elections are a way for people to make choices about who will represent them and make decisions that affect everyone's lives. Children are naturally curious, and that's a great thing. Their questions about voting and elections are a great way to educate them about civil rights. Encourage them to ask questions about what they've heard online or from friends. If you don't know the answer, it's to admit it and then take the opportunity to learn together. One of the biggest challenges I had in having conversations with my children about politics was being age-appropriate. I found myself using political jargon and words they didn't understand, which left them confused or uninterested. As parents, we should tailor political discussions to our child's age and maturity level. For younger children, focus on basic concepts like fairness, kindness, and the role of government in keeping safe and healthy. Older children can handle more detailed discussions about political parties and the impact of policies on people and communities. I want to encourage my children to think critically about what they see and hear. I do that by discussing the importance of considering different perspectives and the difference between facts and opinions. Be honest with kids about your political opinions. I am teaching my children about the values and beliefs that are important to my family and how they relate to politics. I am explaining to them that different families may have different values, and that's why there are different political parties and candidates to vote for. The most valuable lesson is to teach them to respect diverse opinions. You can involve your children in the voting process by showing them your absentee ballot or taking them with you when you vote if it's allowed at your polling location. Explain to them why you are voting. This can drive home the importance of civic engagement. Trump's racist comments, blatant racism, and disdain for talented women left me appalled. Above all, be honest about your own political views and why you hold them. That can help your children understand that politics is complex and that people can have good reasons for supporting different candidates, or politics can be divisive. Our children will hear strong opinions or even insults about certain candidates or groups. Let's use these moments to teach empathy and respect. By encouraging open, honest, and respectful discussions, we can help our children become informed, empathetic, and engaged citizens.